The unexpected arrival. The detection arrays surrounding Jupiter's moon Europa registered something impossible. Dr. Marcus Chen stared at the readings from his position at the Solar Defense Command, watching as an object roughly the size of Texas emerged from what appeared to be a fold in space itself. The vessel, if it could even be called that, defied every principle of spacecraft design humanity had ever conceived. It looked less like a ship and more like a cosmic Russian nesting doll that had been turned inside out and taught to fly. Admiral Sarah Blackwood arrived at the command center within minutes of the alert, her weathered face betraying none of the concern she felt. The assembled team of Earth's finest military and scientific minds watched in stunned silence as the massive construct slowly rotated, revealing layer upon layer of what appeared to be docking bays, each containing vessels of decreasing size. The entire structure pulsed with a soft blue light that made it look almost alive, though every sensor confirmed it was entirely mechanical. The first attempt at communication came from the aliens themselves. A polite chime echoed through the command center's speakers, followed by what sounded like someone clearing their throat, if that someone had 17 windpipes and a fondness for harmonics. The translation software struggled for a moment before producing coherent words in a pleasant, albeit overly enthusiastic voice. Greetings, inhabitants of the third planet. We are the Conveyance Collective, premier shipping service of the Orion Arm. We noticed your delightful little world has been broadcasting electromagnetic signals for some time now, and we simply had to stop by to offer our services. Do you have any ships that need shipping? We ship ships. We also ship ships that ship ships, and on Tuesdays we offer a special discount on shipping ships that ship other ships while being shipped themselves. Dr. Chen exchanged bewildered glances with his colleagues. After decades of speculation about first contact, humanity had prepared for every scenario imaginable. Warriors, traders, explorers, even cosmic bureaucrats had all been considered and planned for. But intergalactic shipping companies? That particular scenario had somehow never made it into the first contact protocols. Admiral Blackwood stepped forward, activating the communication array with a steady hand. Her voice carried the weight of representing all 8 billion humans watching this historic moment. This is Admiral Sarah Blackwood of Earth's Solar Defense Command. We welcome you to our system, Conveyance Collective. Could you clarify what exactly you mean by shipping ships? The response came immediately, accompanied by what could only be described as the sound of excited tentacles rubbing together. Oh, how wonderful! A new species that doesn't understand optimal transportation logistics. This is always such a treat. Allow me to explain. You see, moving through space under your own power is terribly inefficient. Why waste fuel and time when you could be shipped? We've been shipping ships for other ships across the galaxy for millennia. It's much more sensible than everyone flying around willy-nilly. A holographic projection suddenly filled the command center, showing a diagram that hurt to look at directly. Ships were nested inside other ships, which were themselves contained within larger vessels, creating a fractal pattern of transportation that seemed to go on forever. The alien narrator continued with increasing enthusiasm. Our flagship, the Infinite Recursion, can simultaneously ship 17,000 vessels while being shipped by our mega hauler, which is currently being shipped by our ultra carrier, which is actually shipping itself through a process we call auto-shipping. Very cutting edge. We noticed your species has approximately 473 vessels currently operating in this system, all traveling independently. Such waste. We could ship your entire fleet anywhere in the galaxy while using 0.003% of the fuel you're currently burning. Commander Jessica Wu from the Engineering Division pulled up calculations on her tablet, her eyes widening as the numbers resolved. Admiral, they're not wrong. If their technology works as described, the fuel savings would be astronomical. We could reach Alpha Centauri with our entire colonial fleet using less energy than a single conventional jump. The alien presence, which had identified itself as Transportation Coordinator Zix-9, continued its presentation with the enthusiasm of a used car salesman who had just discovered coffee. We see you've been attempting to colonize your nearby systems. How quaint. Swimming through space like aquatic creatures in an ocean of stars. We could ship your colony ships to 12 different systems simultaneously. We could even ship your Shipyards that build ships so you could build ships while being shipped to ship other ships. Dr. Chen rubbed his temples, feeling a migraine forming from trying to follow the recursive logic. Coordinator Zix9, what exactly do you want from humanity in exchange for these shipping services? Want? Oh, you misunderstand. We don't want anything. We simply ship. It's what we do. It's all we do. We've been shipping ships for so long that most of the galaxy has forgotten how to travel any other way. It's marvelously efficient, though we do accept payment in the form of interesting shipping challenges. Your species appears to have something called submarines that operate in liquid water. Fascinating. We've never shipped underwater ships before. The recursive possibilities are endless. The command center erupted in hushed discussions. Scientists debated the implications of such technology, military advisors worried about strategic vulnerabilities, and economists tried to calculate the impact on humanity's carefully planned expansion into space. Admiral Blackwood raised her hand for silence, then asked the question that would change humanity's destiny forever. Coordinator Zix9, if we were to accept your shipping services, what would be required from us? The alien's projection shifted, showing what appeared to be a smile, though it was hard to tell with a being that looked like a geometric proof had gained sentience and decided to become a travel agent. Simply magnificent. All you need to do is prepare your vessels for shipping. We'll handle everything else. We can start with a simple demonstration. Perhaps we could ship one of your space stations to Mars and back, just to show you the efficiency of proper shipping protocols. It would take approximately 17 minutes, including paperwork. The absurdity of the situation wasn't lost on anyone in the command center. Humanity's first contact with alien life had turned out to be with an intergalactic moving company that had elevated logistics to an art form. Yet, as the initial shock wore off, the possibilities began to sink in. If the Conveyance Collective could deliver on their promises, humanity's expansion into the cosmos could be accelerated by centuries. Admiral Blackwood made a decision that would be debated by historians for generations to come. Coordinator Zix9, we accept your demonstration. We have a research station in lunar orbit that needs to be relocated to Mars. Can you ship it without disrupting the crew aboard? Without disrupting them? My dear Admiral, they won't even feel the shipping. That's the beauty of nested transportation. The shipped don't know they're being shipped while shipping ships that are shipping other ships. It's all perfectly stable, through quantum shipping dynamics. Prepare your station for shipping procedures. The infinite recursion will begin the process momentarily. As humanity watched, the massive alien vessel began to unfold like an origami flower made of impossible geometries. Layers upon layers of shipping bays revealed themselves, each one containing vessels that defied conventional understanding of space and scale. The research station, a structure the size of a city block, was gently enveloped by an energy field and drawn into one of the smaller bays, which was itself contained within a medium bay, which nested inside a larger bay, creating a chain of containment that boggled the mind. 17 minutes and 32 seconds later, the station was orbiting Mars, its crew reporting nothing more unusual than a slight tingling sensation and an overwhelming urge to use nested parentheses in their reports. The impossible had been achieved with all the fanfare of a routine delivery. The Great Migration. The United Nations Emergency Assembly had been in session for 48 hours straight, debating humanity's response to the Conveyance Collective's offer. Representatives from every nation, corporation, and space colony participated virtually, their holographic forms filling the amphitheater in Geneva. The discussion had ranged from enthusiastic acceptance to paranoid rejection, with every possible position in between thoroughly explored. President Martinez of the Americas Union stood to address the assembly, her voice carrying the weight of billions who looked to their leaders for guidance. The question before us isn't whether the Conveyance Collective's technology works. They've demonstrated that beyond any doubt. The question is whether humanity is ready to give up control of our own navigation through the stars. The Japanese representative, Dr. Kenji Takahashi, responded with measured words. With respect, President Martinez, we're not giving up control. We're gaining access to a transportation network that spans the galaxy. The collective has shown us their shipping logs. They're currently shipping over 3 million vessels from 8,000 different species. None have reported any issues beyond occasional confusion about which ships are shipping which ships. Coordinator Zix-9 had remained in orbit, patiently answering humanity's endless questions through a holographic avatar that had taken to wearing what it assumed was human formal wear, though the combination of a tuxedo jacket, swim fins, and a fruit basket as a hat suggested their understanding of human culture was still evolving. The alien's patience seemed infinite, possibly because, as it explained, waiting was just another form of stationary shipping. The demonstration that finally swayed the assembly came on the third day. Zix-9 offered to ship Earth's entire orbital infrastructure to safe positions while Earth's first space elevator was deployed, a process that would normally require months of careful coordination to avoid collisions. The collective completed the task in 4 hours, with every satellite, station, and spacecraft returned to precisely their original orbits afterward, except for one communication satellite that Zix-9 apologetically explained had been accidentally shipped to the Andromeda Galaxy but would be returned within the week. General Rebecca Thompson, Earth's military liaison to the collective, had spent hours studying their shipping manifests and had made a startling discovery. The collective doesn't just ship vessels, she reported to the assembly. They're essentially running the galaxy's entire transportation infrastructure. Without them, interstellar commerce would grind to a halt. They're not conquerors or traders. They're the cosmic equivalent of the post office if the post office had achieved enlightenment and decided that recursive transportation was the meaning of existence. The vote, when it finally came, was unanimous. Humanity would accept the conveyance collective services, but with conditions that showcased the very human trait of finding advantages in any situation. The negotiations were led by Dr. Chen, who had discovered that the collective's one weakness was their complete inability to understand why anyone would want to travel without being shipped. "We propose a cultural exchange," Dr. Chen explained to Zix-9. "Humans will serve as navigators and logistics consultants for the collective, helping you optimize your shipping routes even further. In exchange, you'll teach us your technology and help us establish our own shipping network for the local group." Zix-9's form brightened with excitement, literally glowing as various appendages began calculating on holographic abacuses. "Consultants for shipping optimization? But we're already perfectly efficient. We ship ships with 99.9999999% efficiency." "What about that remaining 0.001%? Dr. Chen asked with a smile. The question caused Zix-9 to freeze completely for 30 seconds, a phenomenon that the collective's documentation would later refer to as the human paradox moment. When the alien finally responded, its voice carried something that might have been awe. We never considered improving beyond perfect efficiency. This is revolutionary. You're suggesting we could shipping ships even more efficiently? The mathematical beauty of it. Yes, we accept your terms immediately." The first human vessel to be officially shipped was the exploration ship UES Magellan, bound for Proxima Centauri. Captain Jennifer Park and her crew of 200 watched through the viewports as their ship was enveloped by the collective's shipping field. The sensation was unlike anything they had experienced, as if the universe itself was being gently folded around them like a cosmic origami. "Captain," Lieutenant Commander Torres reported from the navigation station, "we're simultaneously stationary and traveling at approximately 12,000 times the speed of light. Our instruments can't make sense of it, but the collective assures us this is normal for ships being shipped." The journey that should have taken years was completed in 6 hours. The Magellan emerged in the Proxima system to find a small, collective shipping depot already waiting for them, a structure that looked like a mechanical flower floating in space. The depot's automated message was cheerfully redundant. "Welcome to Proxima Centauri. You have been successfully shipped. Please rate your shipping experience. Would you like to ship other ships while you're here?" Within 6 months, humanity had established colonies in 12 systems, each one shipped along with all necessary infrastructure in nested cargo holds that defied three-dimensional logic. The colonists adapted quickly to their new reality, though the phrase "I'll ship that to you" had taken on a literal meaning that caused no end of confusion in casual conversation. The real breakthrough came when humanity introduced the collective to the concept of express shipping. The aliens had never considered that some ships might need to be shipped faster than other ships. This led to the development of priority shipping, overnight shipping, and something called quantum shipping that arrived before it was sent, though the paradoxes involved required extensive paperwork. Dr. Chen, now Earth's permanent liaison to the collective, stood in the command center of the infinite recursion, watching as hundreds of human vessels were prepared for shipping to the far reaches of the galaxy. Zix-9 hovered nearby, its form having adapted to include what it claimed was a human-style necktie, though it was wearing it as a belt. "Your species is remarkable," Zix-9 observed. "In all our eons of shipping ships for ships that ship ships, we never encountered a species that asked why so many times. You've helped us increase our efficiency by 0.0001%. This is the greatest advancement in shipping technology since we discovered how to ship ourselves." Admiral Blackwood, visiting the collective's main shipping hub near the galactic core, couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. Humanity had expected to find the galaxy filled with dangers, with hostile aliens and cosmic terrors. Instead, they'd found a civilization so obsessed with logistics that they'd turned transportation into a philosophy. And somehow, in typical human fashion, they'd found a way to make it work to their advantage. The partnership between humanity and the Conveyance Collective would go down in galactic history as the most efficient alliance ever formed. Within a decade, humans had established a presence in over 1,000 systems, all without burning more fuel than a conventional rocket would use to reach orbit. The collective, in turn, had discovered the joy of optimization, with human consultants helping them achieve the impossible, 100% shipping efficiency, though this led to a philosophical crisis when they realized they had nowhere left to improve. Years later, when other species asked humans about their secret to rapid expansion, the answer always confused them. "We don't travel through space," humans would explain with a grin. "We get shipped. We ship ships that ship other ships. Sometimes we even ship the ships that are shipping us. It's very efficient." The galaxy had learned an important lesson about humanity. They weren't the strongest species, or the smartest, or the most advanced, but they were possibly the only species crazy enough to look at an interdimensional shipping company and think, "We can make this work for us." And in the end, that might have been humanity's greatest strength of all: the ability to find opportunity in the absurd, efficiency in the recursive, and adventure in being packaged and delivered across the cosmos. As Captain Park would later write in her memoirs, "We came to the stars expecting to conquer them with courage and determination. Instead, we conquered them with shipping labels and nested manifests. Somehow, that seems perfectly human."